Hey everybody, it's Eric from EP Autos, your libertarian car guy, and here is today's E-Rant, prompted by my truck, my 2002 Nissan Frontier pickup, which is threateningly close to becoming an antique vehicle. I was thinking about that the other day. It's 18 years old, and in my state, a vehicle becomes eligible for antique status at 25. So I've only got 7 more years to go before my, to me, pretty modern truck becomes an antique. But in some important ways, it really is an antique, or rather, it will soon be seen to be antique relative to what's coming out in your new car showroom. Though my engine is fuel injected and computer controlled, and I've got an overdrive transmission, and all the things that until quite recently characterized a modern car, I still have to drive this car. I have to be responsible for paying attention to the road and keeping in between the painted lines. My truck does not have lane keeper assist or steering assist. There's no ASS either, which means that when I come to a red light, the engine does not shut off. It stays on unless I rotate the key in the ignition to the off position, which I kind of like. It also hasn't got a 48-volt electrical system or mild hybrid technology, and it's got a relatively simple 5-speed overdrive transmission. I wouldn't mind if it had an additional gear. A 6-speed would be nice, up the fuel economy just a little bit, but overall, I consider vehicles like this to be the apotheosis of vehicle design, because they combine all of the incredible reliability and durability that we've come to expect out of late model cars. This thing's pushing 20 years old. It has 120 something thousand miles on it, and it still runs and drives as well as it did when it was new. It's completely reliable, but with the relative simplicity of the older cars that had more character and that we all love so much from the days of the pre-computer car industry, cars built back before the early 80s. So it really combines the best of both worlds, in my opinion. And it's interesting that the value of these vehicles is actually beginning to go up, whereas new car inventories are beginning to stack up. And I think that there are two factors in play here. First, of course, new cars are getting to be really, really expensive. Some of you may have caught my review about the final edition Volkswagen Beetle. One they sent me, it was a convertible. It had a few options, but still $30,000 for a Beetle. That's a buttload of money for a Beetle. And that's actually $5,000 less than the average price paid for a new car last year. The average price paid for a new car. So even with loans that go out to 8 years and 0 or near 0% financing, there's only so much you can finagle when you're dealing with a car that costs $35,000. The thing is still going to hit you with a $300 or $400 or even more dollar payment per month, and most people just can't afford that. It's absurd. Particularly when you tack on all the peripheral costs that come with a new car, including in states where they apply the property tax on vehicles, and of course insurance, which has gotten exorbitant for a variety of reasons, including the reason that you can't say no to the insurance mafia, but that's another rant. On the other hand, I also think that one of the factors that's driving people away from new car showrooms is all of the nudgy, pushy parenting technology that they're putting into vehicles now, which is all part of this bum's rush toward the automated car. And those of you who follow my rants will know that I'm very, very, very careful about using that word, automated, rather than autonomous, to talk about the cars that they're trying to shove down our throats. Automated because they're going to be controlled not by you. They're going to be controlled by an external source, whether it's the corporations that build them or the government that decrees the mandates that the corporations have to abide by. The bottom line is you don't control the car. And just like people have gotten used to getting their junk fondled at the airport in order to get on an airplane, I think they're trying to habituate people to all of this nudgy, pushy parenting technology that's being marketed as assistance to make it sound better, but it isn't an assist. It's an annoying parenting nudge that preempts you as the driver and tries to take control away from you. At any rate, it's getting hard to avoid that stuff in a new car. More and more of them are coming standard with it. You can't just buy a car without it and leave that stuff to those who want it. So what's your alternative? You need a car, right? Well, your other option is to go ahead and get an older car, a car built before they started to put that stuff in vehicles. And I think that, along with the general simplicity and the easier maintenance and the more accessible maintenance, accounts for the reason that there is a large and growing glut of new car inventory stacking up, and at the same time the transaction prices being paid for used vehicles is going up. As regards my little Nissan pickup here, I think it probably is worth about $4,000 or maybe even more, which is remarkable for an 18-year-old two-wheel drive pickup with not many options other than air conditioning. And even more remarkable given that I bought it used back in 2007 for $7,000. So you do that math. It's pretty favorable math, and it's math that's a whole lot more favorable than you'd get with any new car. So anyway, that is my E-Rant for today. I should also have my chat with Bill Meyer over at KMED in Oregon up on the site shortly, and also I'm going to have an article later today that I think people will be interested in that has to do with a proposal that's been floated to, here we go again, mandate that all new cars be fitted with in-car breathalyzers and ignition immobilizers. Doesn't that sound fun? Anyway, thanks again for listening. Come on down to epautos.com if you like an independent voice when it comes to automotive journalism, and we'll catch up with you again soon.